of you to briefly introduce yourselves and share a bit about your experience also related to education for circular economy and digital transformation. So we can start with Professor Leena.
Hello everyone, I'm Leena.
Yeah, you can press.
Yeah. Hello everyone, I'm Leena Aarikka-Stenroos from Tampere University, from Industrial Engineering and Management. And as a researcher, I have been studying circular economy aspects from looking on circular businesses and digitalization around 8-9 years. And I lead a research group in Tampere. And my group is dedicating to circular business and digitalization. And I also, regarding education and teaching related to circular economy, in Tampere University we have a circular economy study module that we 5 years ago built up, and our study module lacks digitalization for circular economy, so your part is missing from our study module, but otherwise we are teaching at Tampere University different kind of aspects to circular economy, from manufacturing to construction and circular business. So I think I have been operated on this field quite many years, and I'm really happy that you asked me to discuss these issues today.
Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Abdelaziz Bouras from Qatar University. I'm a professor in the Computer Science and Engineering department, teaching and making my research there. I'm currently the chair of the IFIP, the International Federation of Processing and for Information Processing, working group on ICT for Lifecycle Management, PLM, Product Lifecycle Management. I was dealing with the incubation of startups, working in the Ministry of ICT in Qatar, making actually startups related to circular economy and also to ICT in this domain. Before that, I was in the University of Lyon in France, and I was the director of the Innovation and the Technology Transfer Center, working with the companies of the Rhône-Alpes regions. And actually, we established also a center for incubation for startups there. I'm teaching, of course, around circular economy, but mainly from the ICT point of view. I use supply chains, I use blockchains, mainly for supply chains and circular economy, and we develop currently some courses related to AI for supply chains. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Vito Albino, and I am a professor here at the Politecnico of Bari. My background is in engineering, mechanical engineering, but for all my academic life, I worked in the field of management engineering. Now, I'm working and teaching in the area of economics of innovation. I started to deal with the circular economy since the end of 19th, when I was studying the technology districts, and at that time the problem of efficiency, in particular from the energy perspective, was really important. And then I did research in this field for 25 years. And now I'm basically a chair of a European Center for Space Economy and Commerce, that is a center located in Vienna, and it's a center of the European Space Agency. So it looks like a field very far from environment and sustainability, but also in the space economy and space commerce, there is an increasing attention towards the sustainability issues. So it is really a stimulating area to continue to work in this field. Thank you.
Thank you again for being with us here in these conversations today. So I will start now asking, what do you need to start the transition? In fact, in reality, we need qualified professionals who have the skills demanded by industry and who can effectively adapt to ongoing technological change. And this includes skills not only related to soft skills or technical ones, but also nowadays we are seeing a demand for more professionals with digital, also digital skills that should be integrated with the environmental and social and technical ones. So, but when we look to the market, there is a gap when it comes to professionals who possess the skills required for both the digital domain and the green transition. Companies need to focus nowadays not only reskilling their workforce, but also to retain these talents. And this gap was also one of the main drivers behind the CERES project, which has two specific aims. One is to develop circular economy-related curricula for both higher education and vocational education and training level. And another aim is to build a circular economy digital innovation hub where we can deliver the courses developed throughout the project. So in the first CERES Webtalk, we presented the results of the first phase of the project. In other words, we revealed the most critical skills that still need to be considered by educational initiatives. Today, we are going to explore the courses developed to be part of the range of services that should be offered by our Circular Innovation Hub. So just to summarize what we have done so far, in the first phase of the project, we conduct a market analysis to map existing circular economy course. We also carried out a systematic literature review to identify the competence considering a theoretical perspective, considering which skills are most critical based on what scholars suggest. We also performed a survey to identify empirical needs associated with the required professionals' roles to address the circular economy transition, and we conducted semi-structured interviews with professionals from industry. After that, we cross-analyzed all the data to see if the current circular economy course available on the market really truly covers the skills demanded by industry and also that suggested by scholars as the most critical. So, and then we come up with this gap analysis figure. It's a framework that represents which skills should be addressed by new opportunities, new educational opportunities, and we can see in red, the red colors represent skills already addressed by current circular economy course, which means that these skills require less focus. And in green colors, we have skills that represents opportunities for new educational initiatives. As we can see, we have skills also related to soft skills, specialized, cross-cutting, and also digital technology skills should be fomented by these new initiatives. And we perform this analysis considering both higher education and also vocational and educational training level. So now I'd like to give the floor to Professor Vito Albino to see his opinion. Do you think current courses and training programs truly cover the key topics needed for the twin transition? And what do you see as missing considering your experience in the educational scenario?
Thank you for the invitation, thank you for the question, and thank you for the opportunity to analyze, to critically analyze the results of the CERES project and the results that can be very important from the perspective of the education. I want to introduce my contribution to this analysis, starting from my personal experience. As I said, I'm a professor in economics of innovation, so I will give you a particular perspective regarding the results of the CERES project. Basically, the first point is the relevance of the human factor, as you mentioned. This is the essential driver for both the transitions. You talk about twin transitions, so for both the transition, for the ecological transition, for the digital transition. But I want to take a particular perspective. If we ask to a sociologist of technology, what about the technological transition, they will say that technology is nothing, and what is really important is the human agency. Human means individual or social behavior. And then it is really important to understand the transition also from this perspective. When we talk about a technological transition, usually we focus on the technological change, and sometimes we do something regarding the economic change, so different business model, different demand, different supply, but it could be really important to open toward a more broader perspective our analysis, and so we need to take into consideration what sociology says and calls the socio-technical system configuration. And then we need to talk about the technological change, economic change, but we need to talk also about user practices, or about infrastructure, or about regulation, about industrial networks, also about symbolic meaning, because when we have transition, basically also the ideological perspective can be really important. There is a really interesting paper published by Research Policy in 2002, written by Gilles, regarding this topic. And then I think that, going back to CERES initiative, that the focus is on the green transition, and then the digital change, digital technology change has to be considered as an enabler and as a support of the green transition. So what is missing? It is really difficult to say what is missing, because I think it's really complete. But anyway, of course, we need to give some suggestions, and I will do that. And I will start from my experience participating in Rimini Ecomondo. Rimini Ecomondo is an initiative where people from industry, from institutions, from government, from academia, talk about material recycling and more recently about circular economy. And so in that occasion, we had discussion several times, in particular with people from the NISP program. NISP is the UK Industrial Symbiosis Program, regarding the obstacles that you find in the transition toward circular economy. And then, starting from that experience, I have 4 issues, 4 areas for maybe further development. The first one is related to the regulatory framework knowledge at national level and international level, but in particular at the national level, it is really important. During those meetings, the most important obstacle was related not to technology, not to organization, not to business, not to demand, was related to the regulatory framework. Sometimes missing regulatory framework, or sometimes very difficult to comply with. So this could be a topic to stress in the curricula, in the courses, because it is very tough. So especially technical people or managers have to deal with some topics that are not familiar with their background. A second area should be plant and eco-industrial park design. So a technical perspective, including all the logistic aspects like transportation, inventory of waste, inventory of materials, also stock of energy. And so that could be an area that can be developed, and it is really important because usually circular economy can be strongly supported, building a kind of top-down solution like in the industrial, eco-industrial park. The third topic can be the third areas can be industrial cases. I've seen some industrial cases in your programs, but I think that industrial cases can be really important. Why? Because industrial cases are reality. So when you analyze the industrial cases, you analyze the reality where technical, economic, and social aspects, but also political aspects, also ideological aspects are combined, and then you can learn a lot from industrial cases. And last but not least, of course, the understanding of the social aspect, of the social landscape, it is really important, because usually we focus on a specific problem, how to use this type of waste, what kind of process to do, and or how we can organize this business, and we forget what is going around the business. That is really important. We know that when we have technological transitions, the understanding of the social landscape, social technical landscape, is essential to improve our practice, our professional practice.
Thank you very much for your valuable insights, Professor, and I totally agree with the social part. I usually see when we read papers or when we are in industry, we see that there is this kind of imbalance where usually people talk a lot about environmental and economic returns, and we see that the social aspect is somehow ignored. So it's really nice that you come up with this insight. Thank you. And also the CERES curricula try to address this specific topic related to social as well. In fact, to present our curricula, we developed 6 courses. 4 of them, it's called core courses, that provides the basic knowledge related to the digital transition, circular economy transition, and also fomented the skills related to entrepreneurship and soft skills, considering also these social aspects. And we have a +2 specialized models to address circular life cycle management, and also focus on end-of-life practices. Now I'm going to introduce you the CERES curricula. I will start with the 4 common core courses that were designed for both higher education and VET. This course it was designed to last 25 hours, which correspond at least to 1 ACTS credit, and the hours is divided in initial preparations to start the course, like materials for students and participants to be prepared for the course, active learning, and also final assessment that they can have an evaluation at the end of the course. So each course also was divided in 4 sessions. I will start talking about with the digital transition and transformation course. In the first session of this course, we go deep in digital technologies, how digital technologies can be used to promote a circular economy. And we also provide some real examples, for example, how to use IoT, blockchain, artificial intelligence. And in the second session, the focus is on virtual and augmented reality, also using case studies to present how to adopt these technologies. In the third section, we focus on automation for a circular economy, how to use, for example, this session explore automation contributes to a circular economy by improving efficiency and resource management, waste reduction, recycling, product life extension, and also circular supply chains. And the last session, the focus is on data analysis for a circular manufacturing, and this entire session explored the importance of data for a circular process. So the second core course is titled Green and Circular Transition. The first session of this course, we explore concepts like circular economy and sustainability, the differences and also the similarities between these two concepts, and also how can circular economy can become a tool to reach the sustainable development goals. In this session, we also address skills like environmental and social awareness and critical thinking. The second session, we focus on circular business models, circular supply chain, and circular ecosystem. We explore different types and archetypes of business model and also different types of circular ecosystem. Then participants can understand better how these different structures can be used to promote a circular economy. In the third session of the Green and Circular Transition course, we explore more about environmental management system and sustainability reports. In this session, we also present how to implement an environmental management system considering the ISO 14001 phases. And also students are able to get access to reports from companies that have successfully implemented environmental management system. The last session of this course, we focus on human resources empowerment, also aligned with this social aspect for ensuring climate justice. In this session, we provide participants with a right set of skills that is demanded for a circular economy, so the students are able to get knowledge about these competencies, and also they can understand better what kind of teaching methods they can use to delivering trainings in the future when they become more prepared after they take all the courses that we have developed. In the third core course, it's called Entrepreneurship and Innovation. The first session presents key definitions and concepts related to innovation and entrepreneurship, explain the roles of innovators and entrepreneurs, introduce circular entrepreneurship practice, and also presents the key principles of environmental, social, and governance framework. In the session 2, we explore how to generate and select innovative ideas, highlighting creativity and opportunities for students to develop cases and also to become more prepared in terms of how they can select and generate ideas for an ideal business plan. In the session 3, also based on what we have studied in the session 1 and 2, students explore strategies for selecting ideas to incubate, and it also focuses on developing and compelling a value proposition. And finally, in session 4, we introduce innovation and technology readiness levels and help students understand how to identify the right funding schemes and effectively present business ideas to attract investors. So the last core course is titled Leading for a Sustainable Future. Also, we address some skills related to each session of this course. The first session, we explore the interplay between emotional intelligence and circular economy, highlighting how self-awareness, empathy, and effective communication can drive sustainable practices. In session 2, we offer a multidimensional view of leadership, introducing different leadership models. It combines theory, real-world examples, and self-assessment to help participants enhance their leadership skills in diverse contexts. In session 3, we also focus on promoting environmental justice principles and teaching participants how to avoid to contribute to further injustice. And finally, in session 4, we explore business communication strategies. It also focuses on developing communication strategies and enhance pitching and presentation skills, oral presentation skills. So in this 4th session, we have with skills that the focus is effective communication and also negotiation. So now I will introduce you the specialized models. Different from the previous 4 core courses, the specialized model will be delivered in a face-to-face format, where the core courses will be delivered in a asynchronous format, which means that participants can attend the core course virtually, remotely. So in the specialized models, these courses will be delivered across the universities that compose the CERES consortium. So the session 1 of the first specialized model that is titled Circular Life Cycle Management, we go a little bit deep in the use of digital technologies for circular economy, especially related to a data-driven circular manufacturing. In session 2, we explore the circular product design, how we can design products considering both the biological and the technical cycle of a circular economy. And also, students are able to understand more about designing for circular and sustainable behavior. In session 3, the focus is on circular indicators and circular economy performance assessment. We present different types of indicators to assess the circular economy implemented in new industry. Also, we provide the students indicators related to the micro level, meso level, and macro level of the circular economy. Especially attention is given to the life cycle assessment approach. So finally, the last session of this specialized model, we adopted a game-based activity, so students can gather in groups and also to understand the impact, the environmental impact of a specific product that they choose during the game that they play. So in this session, we fomented the skills like teamwork, problem defining, solving, critical thinking, environmental and social awareness, and also they can understand and learn more about the environmental impact assessment. So the final specialized model is titled End-of-Life Product Management, Operation Policy and Resource Utilization. Different from the previous one, this specialized model is more related to end-of-life practice. In the first session of this specialized model, we offer an overview of regulations supporting end-of-life product management. It covers key topics related to compliance obligations like e-waste and product responsibility principle, with a focus on European frameworks and their specificities. In session 2, we explore quality and safety issues in the end-of-life value chains for e-waste, batteries, and textiles, which are the sector's focus of the CERES project. And in session 3, we delve into critical role of reverse logistics and operations management in a product and material recovery context. This session explores different logistic network designs required for an efficient product return. So in the last session, the session 4, the focus is on resource utilization. This session particularly pay attention how to material outputs from treatment in specialized plants can be used in their second life application. And we also go deep, a little bit deep in some materials like lithium and copper, because they are key components in batteries, and the metal fraction of e-waste, which is also one of the main sectors related to the CERES project. So at the end of this curricula, these 6 courses, students are able to get a certification. So we have the CERES Roadmap certification. If students decide to take 2 core courses, they can become a circular innovation beginner. If they decided to take the 4 core courses, they can become a circular innovation intermediate, so they can choose which course they decided they want to pursue. And also, if they add 1 specialized course, they can become a circular innovation specialist. And if the student, the participant, decided to attend the entire CERES core course, they can become a circular innovation leader and also start spreading the knowledge that we also build and share among the CERES consortium and that we have developed through the CERES project. So now I know that it's lots of contents and lots of topics that the courses address, but I'd like to see the opinion of Professor Abdelaziz Bouras. What do you see as the main challenges and opportunities for the implementation of the CERES course in different educational and regional contexts, especially considering your experience in teaching in different countries? So you can go.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this introduction. And I have to give just my opinion as an IT person on these courses. So I don't have the ambition to give you my feedback on everything. But as an IT person, I found that the provided courses are really a wonderful opportunity for the students and the learners because they provide a holistic picture of the circular economy chain. Definitely, this will prepare them to create more accurate and more tangible solutions for the current issues that we know when we talk about circular economy, such as the end-to-end visibility, the minimum of information integration, interoperability, reliability, agility of the systems, and so on. So implementing these courses in different learning models, I've seen that you are targeting the normal, the classical way, and also the VET collaboration with the industries. So this is really fantastic because it offers really several advantages for the students, particularly in aligning them and their skills with the sustainability and green economy demands that we have seen today, not only in Europe, but everywhere. Such models equip the students with practical and in-demand skills for the growing needs. As we said, for example, we are talking a lot nowadays about recycling, waste management, remanufacturing, sustainable construction, eco-design, etc., etc. And this definitely will help also the local industries which are seeking more and more for a transition to circular business models. Overall, from the IT point of view, as I told you, so I really like the digital transformation feature in the courses because I found it as a wonderful opportunity to explain to the students mainly the notion of trustworthiness. This is a huge issue that the students need really to understand because applying technologies in the complex systems, in the current systems looks easy, but it's not easy at all. So we can, of course, have different levels of technologies, but at the end, we are not sure about the responsiveness of our system. So the notion of trustworthiness is the attribute of a system having the necessary security functions and assurance to provide confidence to the stakeholders about the capabilities to perform reliable tasks and fulfill assigned responsibilities. So in terms of safety, privacy, security, reliability, resilience, etc. So all these notions are really interdependable, and I've seen that in the courses you are addressing most of them, and this is really something very important. The trustworthiness, if you see, for example, in the Industry 4.0 applications, and mainly in the cyber-physical systems, for example, you will see that this is one of the main pillars to really be sure that the cyber-physical system is responding properly and that we have a confidence in this system. And NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technologies, for example, implemented a standard, and one of the pillars of the cybersecurity systems, as I said, the cyber-physical systems, in that standard is the trustworthiness. It's not easy to define, but it is mandatory and very important to understand. I've seen that you are talking also about the blockchain technology, and I guess that there are some case studies related to this technology, which is very important for the students to understand that the blockchains are also playing a pivotal role in ensuring the transparency, the trust, and security in the industrial processes, either in the production, logistics, supply chains, etc. However, they have really to understand that this is not easy to implement because it has some limitations and because of the complexity of the industrial information systems. Contrarily to the systems for financial applications, for example, cryptocurrency, etc., where the information is simple, here, as you can see in this figure, we have really different kind of transactions when it comes to the industrial system. It can be orders, documents, technical specification, invoices, processing data, information processes, etc. And it is really not easy at all to incorporate this in the blockchain. If really you go deep, you are duplicating the information system of the company, and that creates huge problems for the supply chain. So, but as a technology, so we have to secure the information, the transactions, and we have to select actually what is the information in the industrial system to preserve, to guarantee, and to secure. Another feature in the courses that I really like it is the consideration of the life cycle vision. It is very important for the students to understand that any product should definitely maintain its compliance with the industrial standards through its whole life cycle, through the entire life cycle, the beginning, the middle, and the end of the life cycle. From raw material sourcing to processing, packaging, distribution, consumption, reuse, etc., etc. And the good thing today, from the IT point of view again, is we have more and more AI solutions, algorithms that can predict, for example, the potential disruptions in the supply chains and manufacturing, ensuring operational continuity and product integrity. This is really very important for them to understand and to use such tools. However, we have also to be sure that they understand and they are aware about the cost of such technologies and the digital technologies in general. So the AI is becoming somehow a problem for the environment because AI algorithms consume massive amount of energy. AI drives the heat and carbon emissions, for example, and generate a huge number of data. So the students should really understand that we have to use such technologies because it helps us making smart solutions, but in the same time, they should not use such technologies just to use them because it's fashion to use them, but really to use them when it is really needed. Otherwise, they will create for the companies and the supply chain and the circular economy other problems related to the environment, related to the data storage, and so on. When it comes to technology and to these kind of tools, the software, etc., we always say to our students that before you start implementing the solutions, you have to think about the processes first. And before going deep in the technological side, so they need to understand the underlying processes, reference models across the life cycle phases of the product. For example, so this is just one of the examples. If they are thinking about the data in their application, so before implementing anything, any software related to the data, they have to understand where is the data, what are the performance indicators or the best practices related to this data, who defined this data, which processes are using now and tomorrow this data, what are the evolution description, the responsibilities about the data, who is the owner of the data, is it the design, is it the production, is it the logistics, etc. The processes that are using the data, is it the planning, manufacturing, price calculation, the associated documents, we have thousands of documents related to the data, so specification plans, things like that. So it is very important that they understand that everything is connected and that any software should respect the reference models related to the data, to the product, to a lot of things. So I think this is very important for them to understand before just digging into the AI and these kind of things. Sorry, I think I have to stop here. I think I'm going to another question. Yeah, so these are mainly my feedback related to the courses that I've seen. And again, as I said, so it's mainly my humble feedback related to how the IT is integrated within the circular economy globally. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your speech. It was very valuable for us, and definitely we can also include some insights that you talked in our developed course, especially also related to present also the challenges related to the use of digital technologies when we introduce how these technologies can be used to support a circular economy, but also present these negative sides and that is important for the participants also learn more about it. So thank you. Let me just... I think now I'm going to give the floor to our moderator, Erna, because we will introduce you the Circular Economy Digital Innovation Hub. So, Erna, you can come here and then present our hub.
So, hello, good afternoon, and thank you, Adriana, for all the insights that you provided regarding the content and the development of the CERES project regarding the program, and also thank you to all the speakers that are present here that are also giving us their insights and their feedback regarding our work. So, as has been mentioned previously by Adriana, so this web talk is divided into parts. So the first one, it was the part, let's say, that presented more academic and the methodological approach that we took in order to develop the courses. And also it is very important to mention that we also had a collaborative approach in developing the courses, because in the consortium we are a mix of industrial but also academic partners, and the courses has been developed in collaboration of the different partners. So now, as I mentioned, I am going to go to more a practical part of the project, which is on how can we make, let's say, the courses more appealing and more engaging to the students and to the workers, in order also for them, to take advantage of all the material that we have developed. So just, to give you a bit of context as well of how we develop the Circular Economy Digital Innovation Hub, is that we base ourselves in the DBES model, which is an article that has been published by Claudio Cesanelli and Sergio Terzi. They are also from Polyba and Polyme, so they are also partners in our consortium, and we use this reference model because it helps us to define the service portfolio of our Circular Economy Digital Innovation Hub, also provide flexibility and interoperability, and also triggering the creation of collaboration among stakeholders. So in this case, the DBES model is based on different macro classes. So we selected 4 of them. So the data in which we are able to integrate the knowledge in a knowledge center, where we can gather good practices, case studies regarding circular economy, and also related policies and funding opportunities. Also, when we talk about business, the idea is to support SMEs, and as I was mentioning before by Andrea, is that we are addressing 4 main sectors, which is the automotive, textile, e-waste, and windmill. However, we are not close also to the other sectors that can also benefit from the courses that we develop in our project. So there is the ecosystem. As you know, we are developing an innovation hub. So one of the main aspects of this is to promote the collaboration among the different stakeholders, meaning the entrepreneurs, NGOs, academia, and also public authorities. And finally, skills and methodology and technology via scalable digital solutions like the MOOC that has been presented by Andrea, which is the asynchronous part of our program, but also she mentioned that the specialized modules will be delivered in a synchronous mode, which means that students can be present in person in the courses, but also they will be also online as well. So if I go more in detail of what we would like, to achieve by developing our innovation ecosystem, is that we want to cross-fertilize the technology domain with circular economy. Then we want to extend the set of services that are traditionally provided by a digital innovation hub. So in this sense, we would like also to give the circular economy aspect to a digital innovation hub, which is one of the gaps that has been identified as well. So then we want also to exploit the existing digital innovation networks and platforms to showcase and provide the new assets developed, as we mentioned, as the courses that have been developed in this case. Then trigger an effective loop between skills requirement and skills ability, because this is also one of the objectives of our program, and also drive the collaboration among academic and practitioners, and finally by provide practical evidence of the skills needed to operate in the circular economy. So now I would like, to show you how the Circular Economy Digital Innovation Hub looks like. So here it's the front page that you will see. So here I put a QR code. So if you would like, please, to scan them, and then also to become a member of the hub. So the QR codes are here for that. And then you will see here that you can also register to join in two main parts of this page. So when we go deeper in the development of our interface, so as I mentioned, the idea is also, the idea of the project is to provide the skills, but also the idea is to make them available to the end user, right? So the idea is to have a user-friendly platform that will enable participants to go and to look for the different information that is gathering here in a more user-friendly way. So as I was mentioning, the courses has been developed in collaboration with academics and industrials. And for example, for the development of the online courses, what we also introduce is the use of a methodology which is called a score file, which make the courses more interactive. So in this sense, the idea is, to keep the participants engaged in the courses. So you will find different quizzes and also different features where make this online asynchronous experience more joyful. Then, as you can see here, what we did in the different sections of the knowledge of the platform is that we wanted, to show what is in the diverse model. So, for example, we have the community building. As I mentioned, we have the CERES MOOC. We have the specialized modules as well that will be hosted in our digital platform. Then we have the knowledge center. We have guidance for businesses. We have web talks. And finally, we are also going to have hackathons that are currently on the phase of the design. If we go further, so if you go to one of the courses of the CERES MOOC, so here you see how can you enroll to one of the courses. So you enter in one of the sections. In this case, is the digital transition and transformation, and then you go and click in the button to enroll. So when you do this, you will be redirected to our CERES training platform. So here you will be able to sign up, then log in, and also you will find here what we call it's our learner guide. The learner guide, the objective is to help you to navigate through the learning platform and how to create your account. So to create your account, you need to follow the simple steps. So go to the sign up, then you create your account, and then you will be able to see the courses in your then you will be able to see the courses in the course catalog. So here you can see a screenshot of the courses that are available in our learning platform. So as we mentioned, the 4 core courses are the ones that are online. And then here you will, when you click in one of them, you will be able to go and to start or resume the course. So as the course is designed to be a self-paced, so you can stop whenever you think or whenever you want, and then you can resume the course as well when you have, let's say, more time to finalize the course. And another feature that has been also provided in our circular economy digital innovation hub is that you can access through your mobile. So there is a mobile app, and one aspect that I need to mention is that we choose a platform off the shelf in order, to do and to structure our knowledge, our innovation hub, and the platform that we choose is Mighty Network. So here, if you scan, so you will be able also to go to the application, and then you can see that you will be able also, to have your courses and all the content in your phone, so you will be able also to access to all the material that has been developed in the course. And finally, I would like, to give the floor to our colleague Andrea Dumitrascu, which is in the control room, and she's going to guide us, to a live demo on how to access to the Circular Economy Digital Innovation Hub. So, Andrea, the floor is yours.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Andrea and I will take you on a short walkthrough of the CERES Hub, which is the digital ecosystem supporting the CERES project. Please follow me on the screen. The CERES Hub is available for access through the CERES project website by clicking on the button Join the Hub. Here you can register or sign in, a request to join or sign in if you have credentials already. In our case, we have credentials, so we'll sign in to show you, to give you a bit of an experience of the hub. So here we are, as my colleague Hernan mentioned, the CERES Hub is grounded on the DBEST model, which stands for Data, Business, Ecosystem, Skills, and Tools. You'll see how each of these pillars is reflected in the structure and features of the platform. Let's start with the business and tools, our guidance for business development space. This is a practical area where users can access, for instance, circularity assessment tools to evaluate their current sustainability performance. You will also find updates on EU policy, practical guidance on access to finance, including funding tips and instruments, and information on related projects and innovation hub across Europe. Next is the ecosystem area, our community building space. This space is designed to foster relationship among businesses, researchers, civil society, and policymakers who are all aligned around one core goal, using our planet resources appropriately. We see these as a community building effort. Here users can connect, collaborate, and co-create. The Knowledge Center is the expression of the data pillar within the CERES Hub. They offer curated access to good practices, research outputs, extra training materials, and editorial content. Here, users can explore publications, they stay updated with news and opinions, and engage in further learning through upskilling and reskilling opportunities. Data is also included in our web talks, a space for researchers and practitioners to share insights, turning data into shared knowledge that informs action across sectors, like we're doing today. All web talks are registered and available in this section. Let's now move to the training component, the heart of the skills pillar. That is the CERES program that represents the most crucial part of the CERES project, reflecting its focus on higher education and professional training to accelerate the transition to a circular economy. The 4 core courses are now available as a massive open online course, the CERES MOOC, and open for enrollment. Each course on the hub features a clear overview and a pre-assessment quiz to help you identify your starting point and tailor your learning path. Once you decide to enroll, you'll register on our learning platform by following the instructions on the hub. As Hernan was saying, once you land on the training platform, you can sign in and then sign up. And once you have signed up, you'll have your credential and you can log in. Here, the 4 core courses are available. And you can start learning. As you can see, the training on the platform is delivered in an asynchronous and self-paced format. While learning, you can access the training material on the CERES Hub for each session. You can also interact with other participants in the members section. And also use the chat feature to share reflections, ask questions, and engage with the community. Starting this September, the 2 specialized courses will launch in a hybrid synchronous format, combining online sessions with in-person learning at our partner universities in Italy and Denmark. These courses form a key component of the certification path within the CERES program. While in early 2026, we'll conclude the CERES program with a hackathon, a collaborative challenge where participants apply what they've learned to real-world circular economy problems. We invite you to register and explore the hub, engage with its content, and enroll to the core courses. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrea, for this demo show. And now we would like you to continue. Maybe if you can put the full screen mode in the screen. So thank you. So after the insights that has been provided during this more practical session, so we would like to. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yes, so we would like to ask Professor Leena one question, please. So After seeing all the development that you have seen here regarding the development of the core courses and also the development of the hub, and the question is, how can a skill-driven digital platform like the CERES Hub help drive a circular transformation from an ecosystem perspective?
Yes, thank you for that question, and I'm really happy that you asked that question. I think we all know that circular transition is a system change, right? So also all this skill development should then address to the system, right, and kind of develop it further. And first of all, I would like to say that really impressive work, what I have seen today. Already some teaser yesterday, but today I kind of get familiar with the whole concept, and I really need to, as I told you, we have a circular economy study model, multidisciplinary study model, and already that is much more limited. So I know from experience that how challenging it is to create this extensive set of skills into one platform or one package. So really impressive work. There is a lot of thinking and research behind this architecture of skill development. So really great work. And I would like to reflect this ecosystem perspective or system perspective from two angles. So first of all, I would like to reflect the content, what we see from on the platform, and what are the contents of different kind of courses. And the content-wise, I think you have really captured different parts of the circular ecosystems or circular systems. So if we want to production consumption systems to become circular, you really need to develop production or design. You need to learn how to shape policies or how to respond policies. So content-wise, your platform and the course contents really kind of covered, in my opinion, covered quite well circular production consumption systems. One thing what I was missing was more like a market perspective and kind of customer orientation, that how, because the whole circular economy is completely different model. So customers gain more values, and how market, what are the criteria and preferences of the market may change, and companies and experts need to learn on that as well. So that was something that, from looking this as from a kind of system perspective, I think that part could be strengthened. But as I told you, I think you have a really massive content there to learn. So content-wise, I think that the package was so really impressive. There was also areas like community building that contributes both to the expertise building, but also kind of making more like sectoral development or more wider collaborations. So I think community building area in the platform was really contributive. And also I like that you have there kind of good practices and case examples where those who want to kind of learn can really benchmark or imitate good practices. So content-wise, I think that you really cover a circular production consumption system. So I think content-wise, you do a great service for many industrial systems. And then I would also, the other angle, I would like to look this platform and the courses looking from different levels of the system. So considering circular ecosystems, they have different constituents. So each circular ecosystem have individual players at the micro level, companies, experts, needing to learn, needing to redesign their business models, needing to update they kind of expert profiles, even expert identities. So I think you provide this platform, and the courses really nicely provide different kind of contents for different players who have kind of different expertises and orientations, from designers to those who provide technologies or do some other role in the system. And on the meso level, looking this from sectoral chains or kind of sectoral systems, sectoral modules, I think you have really nice elements there as well. You mentioned that by this far, the platform and the courses have been developed keeping in mind the textile sector and e-waste and so on. So it's one, but each sector has, when sectors turn circular, each sector have their own challenges. Like we are doing a lot of research in the field of circular construction. It's really project oriented compared to manufacturing that is more product oriented. So I think that applying different kind of digital technologies might differ depending on whether you are using AI or robotics or automation, whether you are producing products or you are coming together to build a building or harvesting elements and then reusing them in buildings. So in the project business, it can be different. Or if it's more kind of process orientation, like in a chemical or forestry production, then probably the use of digitalization, it might differ. So I think in future it's good if you can extend the viewpoints that how each sectoral chains can kind of learn from here. I think many of these insights and cases that you have on the platform probably can be generalized over industry sectors, but probably more examples should be gathered from different sectors that the companies and industry sectors, they can identify themselves, so they can find a similar case that they are themselves. And thirdly, looking the platform and the courses from macro level, from socio-technical system perspective, Vito, you mentioned GELS and mentioned the socio-technical system. So these are not only technological systems, these are also societal systems, and there are political systems. So, and we all know that now we are living in the middle of trade wars, and currently European Union is highlighting more and more, for example, self-sufficiency, European self-sufficiency in resources. So circular economy becomes super relevant for European economy. So therefore I consider that these skills are, when you got this funding, we were not in this situation where we are now, in this crazy year that we are now living. So I think in future, circular skills relate, how we can scale up circular economy with digitalization to make circular business feasible and into industrial scale. It's really relevant for European economy. So I think for the system level, not only sectoral ecosystems, but for the national economies, these skills will be super relevant in near future. So So that is my comment. And then I have one critical comment, if I may add that here, related to system perspective, that you had labeled negotiation skills and collaboration skills as a soft skills. And I was wondering why, because for a system you really need to kind of tie connections over boundaries and between actors. So I would like to challenge you to reframe this category of skills. I think from system perspective, negotiation skills and networking skills and collaborative skills are kind of crucial skills, must-have skills. I mean, otherwise you are not able to do this kind of systemic change or change the system if you don't have those, not soft, but must-have skills. So that is my my challenge for you to rethink that. What is the label for those? I know that you have already publication where it's printed, but in future studies you could consider kind of putting more attractive and more challenging label for those skills. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this valuable feedback and insights, Professor Leena. And I think we are going to take them in account because as we are mentioning, so this is the launch of our hub. And also, as I was mentioning as well, we are taking, let's say, an iterative approach for the development of the courses. So as much insights and much feedback that we can gather will enable us, to polish the content that we have. So as the methodologies that we are using in developing the contents and also in doing the gap analysis and everything will allow us also to include the feedback that you are providing us. So thank you very much. And this is things that we will take into account for the polishing of the different skills of the different courses that we are going to develop. And also, it's also to mention that, this is the first effort that we are doing in terms of building our Circular Economy Digital Innovation Hub. We are also trying to look for funds, to continue the work of the Digital Innovation Hub, and for sure we are going to include all the insights that you provided, because also the systemic level that you were mentioning about the micro, meso, and macro level, I think are very, very important, and how we can reflect them as well in the structure of the Digital Innovation Hub will be very, very, very good for us, and very good insights for the future development. Thank you very much. So now we are heading to the end of the web talk. So I would like just also to go to the last part of our conversation, where we would like to ask to our three speakers to provide us some final reflections and maybe a call to action. So here we prepare two questions. So the first one is considering the future of the Circular Economy Digital Innovation Hub. What steps do you suggest we take now to ensure its long-term sustainability? And how can we get students and also the workforce and professors more engaged and involved in the CERES courses? So maybe we can start with Professor Vito.
Yes. Okay, let's start from the first question about long-term sustainability of a digital innovation hub. I want to start from an historical perspective. So we took approximately more or less 2 centuries to develop a linear economic model. Now we are trying to move towards a circular economy model, and then we can learn something from the past. What happened during the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, but also during the industrial transition. And the industrial transition basically happened in the second part of the 19th century, and in the first part of the 20th century. Entrepreneurs adopting the approach of Schumpeter try to develop, to experiment new solutions, new technologies, new business models. And then what other entrepreneurs did, they went around visiting companies, visiting plants, and copying. And then looking what the other entrepreneurs were doing and trying to do the same in their countries, in their business. So they went to UK, of course, at the beginning of the industrial transition, but they went also to Germany, they went to Sweden, they went to France, they went to Switzerland, they went to Italy too, or they went to US. So why I'm talking about this historical analysis, because I think that the role of the Digital Innovation Hub is to speed up the learning processes. And then my first suggestion, I've seen something about in your presentation, but my first suggestion is to create a kind of handbook of industrial cases related to circular economy. And in this way, you can quickly customize your offer, your courses, and who will pay the Digital Innovation Hub will be interested to quickly learn what the Digital Innovation Hub can offer. And that is the most important issue for the sustainability, for the medium long-term sustainability. Because at the beginning, of course, public funds should support this type of initiative, but we know that in the medium long term, only if we are able to sell something, to give value to our customers, the customers, I mean, of the Digital Innovation Hub, then we can have a long-term sustainability. Something similar has happened in the past. During business process reengineering, I'm talking about the end of the last decade of the last millennium, we had something similar at MIT about business processes. And they created a kind of handbook. It was the Coordination Science Lab by Professor Thomas Malone that developed this tool that is a powerful tool, that was a powerful tool. And many companies went to learn about how to reorganize their business. And so it's the same for the circular economy, because people that want to, entrepreneurs, managers that want to quickly learn how to reorganize your business, how to close the loop, then you can approach the handbook. Of course, the digital handbook, as we are in the Digital Innovation now. My second suggestion regarding the second demand, I think that, as I mentioned, when we have a technological transition, of course, we have the structural transition, new technologies, new market, new demand, new supply, new incentives, but also we have ideological transition. So in order to push students and professors towards circular economy, we need to create a kind of narrative explanation of the relevance of this transition. So that is really important. It's important for the sustainable development, for the green transition in general, but it is important for the circular economy transition. So my suggestion could be to have some kind of industrial experts, I mean, chief executive officer or chief technology officers, very important companies that explain why it is important and how they did in their business. And then students and professors can quickly understand the relevance of the approach. And then we can use these experts as witnesses for the Digital Innovation Hub for the transition. So this could be a couple of ideas that I'm very happy to share with you.
Thank you very much for these valuable insights. So now can we go with you, Professor Leena? Yes.
Related to the first question, actually I had put a note that it would be really relevant to take the feedback and develop the platform further, but you already say that you are going to do that. So do so. And then the other point, that how to get students and professors to engaged. And I was thinking that there are two types, or at least two opposite types of audience. That there are forerunners who are, like I consider myself as a kind of forerunner professor, kind of just waiting that when we can use this platform in teaching. So there are definitely others who are kind of waiting more courses and kind of support for skill development. But then there are those who are not so much wanting this, or who don't yet see, who have not yet realized, who have not yet been motivated, like you. Vito said that what is the narrative, what is the rationale, and why I should do so. So those laggards, or those who are against or do not yet see the point, I think those are also super really relevant audience for and really needing these skills. So I think when you are, I don't have any kind of practical tips, but I think that you should kind of consider this to have two different tactics, that the forerunners just need to find this, and then you have on them. But how you find them? So what is the way to forerunners? I think, for example, in Europe there are quite many universities that have already directed the circular economy, and then you just kind of inform them, and that's it. But then there are those who would need this information and are not yet kind of themselves seeking this information. So I think it's really important that you reach those. But I don't know what is the way to capture them and how to communicate them. But I think those, if they even go through a teaser or trial or one introductory section, I think that understanding is already really relevant for those who don't know nothing about circular economy. So I think that tactic should be applied as well, getting laggards in.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Leena. And since we are approaching the end of the session, so Professor Bouras, for your last reflection about the questions, please.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I think globally, related to the first question of the sustainability, I see that you have defined clear vision and mission. And sustainability for the long term means continuously aligning them with the local and global circular economy skills needs. So this is very important to update and to be, in line with that. Secure the integration of the innovation hub into the local and regional ecosystem, and develop long-term partnership plan with the local stakeholders, the local government, the local agencies, etc., and the industry. Then another point should be, or could be, measuring the impact of the hub in terms of user engagement, in terms of learning outcomes, in terms of supported innovations, things like that, and continuously improve those criteria. And the last point that I can see here is to incorporate modern tools like data visualization, data analytics, etc. This is very important in terms of visibility of the actions of the hub. And when it comes to the engagement of the professors and the students, I think the students, they need always to have kind of clear vision in terms of employability, etc. So it's very important that they have a kind of real-world relevance to the courses. For example, engaging the industries, involving the companies, in terms of guest lecturing, in terms of industry projects, case studies, etc. So that's very important. And having incentives and recognition for them. Through, I think I have seen this already in the slides, through events, through sustainability competitions, campaigns, through student clubs, for example. So that will motivate them really to be in contact with the industry, things like that. And why not offering for them awards and certifications, but I have seen that, to help them really building and, building green jobs pathways that will help them later when they finish the courses to be ready for the jobs. For the professors, it's similar, but probably it's a little bit simpler or more complex, I don't know. Of course, providing grants for them to build research related to these topics, and also innovation actions. So that's very important for them. And the most important for me is to recognize their VET, because we are talking about, normal courses, but also courses within the VET, is really to recognize those actions related to the VET, related to, for example, visiting the companies, managing the projects, finding companies, etc. So recognize that in their promotion. That's very important, and it's very important for them to know from the beginning that all the actions have been recognized in their promotion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Bouras. And thank you to all the three speakers for these valuable inputs, also for this call to action. So we know as a consortium that we have too much work to do now, and we will try to of course include all the different reflections that you just made, because we are entering the last year of our project, where it's the piloting phase. So the objective also of this web talk, it was this, to gather the insights on how can we improve our circular economy digital innovation hub, because we wanted to have long-term sustainability and that all members and participants can be part of them and can be members for a long time. So just a last thing, because we reach the time. So this is how you can get engaged with the CERES project. And also we are going to have our last, we are going to give you more information about the specialized modules, the hackathons, and also about our last talk. So with this, I would like to thank for your attention again to the three speakers that were with us today, and also with all the persons that has been here in person, but also all the participants online. So thank you very much from the CERES project.